Okay, got some sheet metal work done up here, and I'm going to bring that down here. But before I come into that roll there, that transition there, I think I'm going to start at the bottom and start back with. I've got the lower trunk opening here, still remains. I've got both of these side pieces, and I've actually already started re-arching them a little bit. So I think I'm going to cut that out and put the trunk frame back in here to match this height, or roughly match each other. And yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. This is the upper part of the trunk panel. The hinge is set right under here, and when I cut this apart, I save these pieces here, and I actually just, before I turned the camera on, put a little more arch in those, which wasn't too hard. There's nothing exact here, but I think I'm going to tack these back on each side of here, and also clean some of this off of here. I think I'm going to cut it long for now, maybe just remove this little piece of rain gutter so this can set up under that skin, up under the skin over there that I've got, and take a gander at it, see how it looks. If it looks good, then I'll just get underneath and mark it out, trim it out, and weld it in. So I think we're going to tack these panels back on here on each side. Just put a few tacks on them, keep them there in place, and take it over there and fit it up a little bit. I think I'm going to tack this leg on here, back on there. Well, I probably should never cut it, but don't know where you're going to be and what you're up against. Okay, I'm over here set up a little better than I was. I just want to check and see if these things will fit in there approximately where they came from. Tighten it a little tighter. Oh yeah. It's got quite a bit of flex to it. This should go back in there. Okay. Bends, I know that will actually spread out far enough. It'll spring enough to fit back in there. I think what we're going to do is trim this off here a little bit. Might come straight off of here, and I might leave that straight, might leave it curved. At some point it has to overlap, I would say, because that would be approximately the right height there of the 4-door. It came up that high, and these were a little more straight. So let's see what happens here. Just for the fun of things, pull that panel back off. And I'm going to grab the existing trunk deck, which is going to have to be modified pretty heavily. Or completely remade. You can see the extra curve I've got already in the panel. Anyway, that panel, I might try working with that trunk deck. I know I want to use at least the top of it and the bottom of it. If I have to remake the sides, or I'm still going to see. I might slice on the inner can a little bit and see how much curve I can put in it. Okay, I'm going to cut this down through here. Get this extra upper roof off. Okay, let's spin it around and trim the unforeseen, as the car is wider now in this area, because as it came up it came in, and now we're down here, and this roof works out pretty good with the width here, that roof piece. But for the top of the trunk, that curvature is a little wider on the skin at that point, but narrower on my trunk deck where I was thinking I could lay it in there. So it starts to roll over way before the edge of the car rolls over out here, if that makes sense to you. Yeah, this panel up underneath here, the original trunk panel, rolls over. You can follow it up from here, and the outer part of the car is a couple inches further out. So I think halfway down the panel it could work out. I don't know, a little more thought. Okay, it's been a minute. Was last working together, we were working on the frame that goes around that trunk deck, and I didn't show it because I just kind of tried it on a whim. Was reshaping that trunk deck, and I just used some 4x4s and put a little weight on it, and I'm not saying it's there, but I think it might be able to be done. And also I hammered around the ridge. The trunk deck had way too much curvature. It was rolled tight because it was up higher and then it came down. So that's all straight down, and I can't bring this panel in that tight and make it look like anything. So what I think I'm going to do is, or I have done a little bit, is straighten out that top of the trunk deck there that went across the lower panel before, straighten it out a little bit, and I've been straightening out on this trunk deck, and we're making what I think to be some progress. I mean, it's definitely not there, but I think it might be doable. I thought I was going to have to make a complete trunk deck, just frame it up out of box steel, but it appears this is going to be pretty close. And I just kind of gripped and screwed this thing together the best I could, and everything is just to that point right now. That way if I have to back up, I don't have to cut a bunch of welds. Then it'd just be hours and hours of cutting all this apart if I had to move something. So far I'm pretty good. I think I'm confident I can make this work. I may even have to rework that lower panel there a little bit. I think I can fudge a little more on my angle there. If I might tweak on it a little bit. So I'm open to see what I got to do, and but I think I've got something I can work with here. I was concerned, but I believe I can get this to go, so that's what I'm going to tear into. I went through and marked all these locations of these panels. Like I said, they're not 100% by any means yet, but I want to get some more of this sorted out before I commit to this. So tonight I marked these screws out and panel locations because I had them fitting pretty good. I'm going to take this big panel out and then work on getting this trunk deck laid in there and see if I can make it work. And that's where we'll go next. We're going to go ahead and pull the trunk deck off now. And I spoke earlier about taking some of this curve out right here. And I did that by just tapping around, about halfway up on the side, and just in over here where it's starting to flatten out and be more of the natural curve. It had a pretty sharp curve to it, and I may be able to go more if I need to, but I don't want to go more until I know what I need. I straightened these out a little bit. I may have to come out further, and I think we're going to weld in the lower corners of those, just because clamps are so awkward to get in that location there and hold the torsional forces that me springing around on stuff is going to hold. So I'm going to weld that together real quick. We got this lower outer corner in place. I'm going to try to tack it here. And, okay, I was going to show you guys welding, tying this together a little bit down here, like I said, just for this temporary deal. I pulled it into place and there was an opportunity to weld it and the camera wasn't on, so you guys missed it. Alright, let's loosen up the old vice grips. They put some temporary legs in here. Let's tack weld or screw something in here to get that height set. And we can lay the trunk deck in there. See what we got. Just messing around here. The old vice clampies. I don't know. I'm going to try to push this side down a little. Yeah, let's tighten the old girl up. Don't get too carried away with that. Let's see if the trunk deck will even fit in there. We're probably still high. Maybe not. Wiring harness. Actually, that's a the trunk deck is flattened out further than the panel right now. On both sides about equally. But the panel, the trunk deck needs to set in deeper. These channels here are rolled terribly out due to the steep incline of the siding. Might try to bring these together and just screw them together once, you know, see what we got. So I did some rude measurements from the fender up to here, and this side is slightly higher than the other side. So we're going to try to bring that down here before we screw anything together. Closer than it were. Take another measurement. Got it clamped down maybe where it's close. I'm gonna put some screws in it because it's under a little tension. It's a little bit angry. go around and throw one in this side. And just for giggles and grins, we'll put a couple more in here. Just kind of hold this down. There's a lot of metal buckled up here. Pull some shape into it. Nothing to support that. Put a couple over here. Just to pull some shape. There we go. We can read off of that. Let's check the trunk deck out. Need to address these edges a little bit. See if I can tighten them up just a little bit through here. So I think I'm going to stick a dolly behind there. And And just for chuckles, we'll throw this panel back up there. I don't think we're deep enough here yet. I think this needs to go down. So I just pulled the sheet metal off of there. And I think I'm going to try to pull this down a little tighter and re-screw it. worked on the trunk deck a little more, and we got the moved down another 1/2 inch roughly, and we're going to set the sheet metal back on it. See what we got. Okay, we've made some progress. Nothing's cut in stone, but we're a lot further along than we were. I think it might be just a little bit low right at the top of the trunk deck, halfway through this break right here, and I think I'm gonna make this trunk deck work. It's gonna take a little more time, but all in all, I kind of like the shape of it. I hate looking at it without the skirt on it, but yeah, kind of digging it. I think we're gonna proceed, keep lining stuff up, raise that middle up just a fuzz, and see if we can't make this into a car. You know the drill. Like and subscribe.